Okay, good afternoon. This is going to be a short lecture, and the basic idea is to compare and contrast large country case and small country case for a tariff, for a kanze. Before we begin, I just want to mention it's also in your take-home exam, the difference between a specific tariff, which is dollars per ton, for example, or dollars per value, or rather for quantity, which is what Krugman and Obstfeld use in their example, that type of tariff. It's very common in agricultural goods, in contrast with an ad valorem tariff, which is a percent based on the value, for Latin, on the value. Many taxes, consumption taxes, are percent taxes. Value-added taxes they have in Europe are percent taxes. Tariffs can be both. In agricultural goods, often we'll see a specific tax, more common than an ad valorem tax. But anyway, there's two types of tariffs. You got to know that. But in the textbook, we're going to focus on the specific tariff example. If we had an ad valorem tariff, same analysis, basic conclusion, little more complicated graph. So this is a simpler graph. Let me just say it quickly again in Japanese and then go to the whiteboard. なんだろう、重量税で重価税、両方あります。農業物だったら、重量税の方が多いかもしれないんですけど、パーセントだったら消費税とかは重価税なんですけど、関税でも重価税も珍しくない。で、教科書の例は重量税なんですけど、で、分析法というかグラフは重量の税の方が書きやすいから、重価税の関税だったらもっと複雑なグラフありますんで、結論ほとんど同じなんですけど、もうちょっと複雑だから、もっと単純なケース、クルーグのそれを使ってます。じゃあこれから大国小国ケースの違いを説明します。So I'm going to do this quickly because we know the small case fairly well. I won't draw all the notation, but we have A, B, C, D. We have the free trade price, PW, the price for the tariff. Let's put some numbers in here. Okay, let's assume this is a specific tariff, juryoze, and maybe this is oil. The country produces oil and imports oil. Maybe this is U.S., U.S. This is world oil. And then the price per barrel of oil is maybe $100. And a $10 per barrel specific tax will raise the imported price from $100 to $110. And then we can do our analysis. Producers gain, consumers loss, and tariff revenue. Always a rectangle, right? Always a rectangle. Maybe this is 150, maybe that's 200, this is 10, so C is 50. Barrels of oil imported times $10 per barrel. Safe no shinyu wa $500 of government revenue. Okay, so again, always a rectangle for the government revenue. Okay, so in the small country case, this never changes. 小国のケースだったら PW は変わらない。小国だから。そういう関税は、デマンドとかインポートデマンドは正解の値段は全く影響ないから、もう E という面積はない。So there's no area E as you see in the Krugman Obstfeld text because this never changes. let me do the large country case. And let me do 2 graphs. So America makes oil, but maybe imports oil as well. Hope you can see that. So the world price of oil is maybe $100 per barrel. Now it's very low, but it has been 100. But let's draw a second figure or graph over here. The world oil market. So this supply curve is U.S. supply of oil and demand for oil, whereas this is the entire world, Saudi Arabia, Russia, Venezuela, and the United States supply curve and demand by all the countries of the world for oil. And that brings us to our world price of 100, and that's the price that America pays for oil, as does every other country in the world. Now, as America imposes a $10 per barrel tariff on imports of oil, of course, the price of oil in America will go up, and imports of oil in America will go down. But because America is a large country, America is going to import less oil, which means total world demand falls. 大国のケースだからアメリカは確かに自分の輸入に対して関税かかるとアメリカの輸入数量は減ってる。で、アメリカは大国というか大きな国だからアメリカの輸入数量が減るとグローバルデマンドも減る。So this D prime world is the demand which has fallen because America is importing less oil, which means there's less demand overall in the world market, which means this falls. How far does it fall? Well, it depends on elasticities, something close to the slope of supply and demand, but it's going to fall. Let's say it falls to $96. Let me just say that again in Japanese. アメリカが大きな国だからアメリカの輸入数量が減るからグローバルデマンドが減るから世界の原油値段は下がる。で、どのくらい下がるは、弾力性によってとかサプライとデマンドは傾き、いろんな弾力性なんですけど、とにかく下がる。で、例えば$100から$96下がります。で、それはグローバル世界の値段なんですけど、では他の国も$100じゃなくて$96で購入できますけど、でとにかく大国だから世界の値段は原油の値段は下がります。でもそれはアメリカにとっていいことですよね。アメリカは輸入してるから、もし輸入してるものは安くなると、交易改善という効果があります。数化的な効果があります。自国にとって、アメリカにとって。So, as the price falls, that's good for America because America imports oil, and imported oil cost $100, but because of the tariff, now the world price of oil has fallen to $96. So America gets an additional benefit. This is the terms of trade benefit, that area E in the Krugman-Obsfeld figure, and in figures in other textbooks as well. So, how do we graph that? How do we draw that? Well, let's draw a new PW prime. This is the new price I think Krugman-Obstfeld uses different notation. Krugman-Obstfeldのラベルは違う、あんまり良くないんですけど、とにかく PW から PW プライムに下がります。世界の値段。Right? So the world price falls from, say, 100 to 96, but then the Americans still have to pay the tax of $10 per barrel. So this is 96, they're buying it at a little bit cheaper rate, but they have to pay the $10, so this price here is going to be $106. So the American consumer is paying more. They were paying 100 without the tariff, now they're paying 106. So they're paying more, there's still consumer loss, still going to be A, B, C, D. But then we have this area E as well to consider. 消費者はまだロスあります。前は$100で払ってる。で、関税かけると$106になります。でも$110ではない。なぜなら輸入されてる値段は下がってるから、便益があります。Terms of trade benefit ありますけど。交易条件改善という効果ありますけど。So that's the tricky part that they don't really explain in the Krugman-Obstfeld textbook. But now let's look at the areas. We have A, we have B, C, we have D, and now we have E. The additional terms, terms of trade effect or benefit. And that's the idea, that's really what's going on there. So again, it's A, B, C, D plus E, but actually there's a little bit tricky, more subtle story going on there. But that's the basic idea. Memorize the meaning of all the shapes and contrast the small country where this doesn't change with the large country case where this price falls, and therefore we get an additional benefit for the importing country. It's in the text, but I'll just if the absolute area of B and D is greater than the absolute gain of E, this is still a net loss for the country. But, no, probably too low there. If it's a gain, but if the area of A is greater than the area of B and D, then that efficiency loss can be outweighed by the terms of trade gain, and then the US, even by putting a tariff on itself, could have, in theory, a small gain. So for a small country, a tariff's always bad. For a large country, if they can get away with it, could still be a net loss, or it could be a small gain, even with the efficiency loss. So that's the idea. Let me just say that again quickly in Japanese and then finish the video. 対角ケース2つの可能性あります。もしこれ BD は E より大きければ、またネットロス。小国ケースよりネットロスは少ないけど、ネットロス。だから小国のケースだったらどうしても関税はバカというか良くないというか、絶対ネットロスになります。けど、大国の場合だったら、もし E というterms of trade effect はB and D efficiency loss とか C か10ロスの方がこっちの方が大きければ、小さいんですけどネットゲインになります。だから実は経済大国のケースだったら関税はいいことになる可能性はあります。でももし、例えばアメリカはそういう関税わがまま関税やるとでちょっとプラスゲインがあるんで他の国は復讐 retaliatory 関税もかけるかもしれないんでそうするとアメリカはロスまたはロスあるし 海外モードをされるんで、もともと悪いとか頭良くないポリシーなんですけど、もし復讐、リベンジじゃなくて、リタリエーション、関税来ないと、関税はネットプラスに可能性があります。ちょっと英語でも戻りますけど。So, again, it's possible that a large country could impose a tariff on itself, and if the terms of trade gains are large enough, they could actually be better off, even though it's anti-free trade. But of course, this only works if the other country does nothing and just sits back. Usually countries do not sit back, as we saw in the case of US and China, and if the other country retaliates, retaliatory tariffs, then America is going to be worse off than free trade, and the other country is also worse off for free trade, but maybe better than if they did not retaliate. So again, we come back to the idea that free trade's best, even for a large country. The only way a small tariff could be good for a large country is if the other country or countries do nothing, which in reality never happens. So that's the end of the video. Check it out, look at the text again and read it at a little deeper level. Thanks.